Welcome to the new podcast. My name is Steven. I am joined as always by producer and co-host extraordinaire.
Hello.
Welcome to episode number 111. Kelly, let's get to it. Switch it up there a little bit in the beginning there. So just go see on the field. I think it all kind of came together pretty nicely there. Let's get to it. Episode number 111. What a fight we had last night, Kelly. A bit of a snore, but man, oh man, did that main event ever make up for the rest of it. Well, obviously breaking down Usman versus Burns at the end of the show. Gonna talk some video games. We're gonna be reviewing some shithole of a restaurant in the States. And we'll talk some news too. But man, oh man, had a great week. Just the same old shit. We had quite a good dump of snow up here, and which is kind of odd for our neck of the woods. But heck, we had a lot of snow. I know even Texas is gonna be getting snow, Kelly. But other than that, I just fucking been chilling out. As what else can you do right now in the indefinite lockdown here, and playing a ton of video games, hanging out with the kids, and that's just really about it, man. Working, video games, eating, repeating. That's about it, man. No sleep. What were you, man? What'd you get up to this week?
Well, yesterday I got stuck out in Aldergrove in the snow.
No way.
Down this long road. I pretty much had to dig from the bottom of this hill to the top, just enough
no
so
way.
my tires can touch all the way up so I could get up it.
So you dug a channel in order to drive up it?
Yeah, exactly. So that was my workout.
That's hilarious. Good workout.
That day, yeah. No, I was exhausted, man. After shoveling anything is a great workout.
Big time.
Because you're you're pushing, pulling, everything. So it's like a full body workout. But yeah, I was exhausted. It was able to get out, thankfully. And I don't know. I watched the fights after that when I got home.
Well-deserved break.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's about it. That was my weekend.
That's hilarious. Well, I'm glad you at least you had the gumption to be able to do it. Did you at least have a shovel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Phew. Can you imagine you were digging with a binder or some shit? A CD case? Just digging your way out.
What's that movie, Revenant or something? It's kind of gotta get out of here.
I don't think I know what movie you're talking about.
I think of Leonardo DiCaprio out in the wild or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
In the wild. That's like me with a binder trying to get my car out of the snow. Make a movie out of it.
There you go.
Most boring movie ever.
Maybe have to stretched out so much flashbacks. What led up to this moment?
Just little in the midway, I was like, will he make it? Just me struggling to get this snow, and then I find a second wind.
You stand up and wipe the sweat from your brow and take a deep breath, and you have a flashback of breakfast with your family.
Yeah,
it's pancakes. It's a perfect Sunday morning bullshit. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh man, that would be if you could do that in a serious but comical way. That'd be a good short video. Yeah.
And in the distance you hear a wolf howl, and then the sun's slowly going down, you're losing daylight, even though it was during the day and everything was fine. you're even though it is kind of the boonies, you're still in in a city, or you know what I mean. Oh boy, it writes itself.
Dark within 10 minutes. That's a whole movie.
It writes itself.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Something to think about next time.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Somebody does. Somebody's sitting home on the government CERB or whatever they're calling it right now. Has nothing to do. Hey man, go make some short videos.
There you go.
Here's your first idea. On us.
COVID cinemas.
COVID cinema.
That's we were talking about stocks and that type of shit before the show, and I was wondering if that would be one to invest in because it's so low right now for Cineplex.
Yeah,
it's an all-time low, and when movie theaters, I think people are gonna just be hankering to go to movie theaters just to do something normal again. Maybe that'd be, you heard it here first, folks. Maybe that's a stock to invest in.
Well,
movies.
a lot
Cineplex.
of, I think the over 35 crowd, not really including us, but, like a lot of them, I think they're like, movie theaters dead. I'd rather just sit at home, watch, like, you can order a lot of the new movies on like Apple TV and stuff. You just pay like a premium for them, and you can just watch them at home on your big screen, whatever. I think people are downsizing and stuff like that, and they don't really necessarily need or want huge TVs in their houses anymore, especially when a lot of people just have laptops and cell phones. Like, that's it. Or computers.
Yeah.
So I think people are gonna want to go out, especially the under 35 crowd, who already take this thing as a joke. And they're already hanging out in huge crowds. You think they're going to be scared of going to a movie theater? No, they're going to school with hundreds of kids right now. They have no worries about it. So I think it will be coming back super strong once, the restrictions are over. Yeah, I think it's probably a great investment right now. Yeah, super low. I think last time I checked, it was only like $14, $15.
Yeah, it's
per
dirt
stock.
cheap right now. It's super dirt cheap. Like lowest, like they had like mega losses, obviously. But you know what I mean. I think it's something they're already weathered the storm. They haven't gone under yet, and it's already been a year. So you know what I mean. And America's doing pretty good with the vaccine. Numbers are down. If you can call them, having 1,000 cases a day, 100,000 cases a day, a good sign. But America's a big place. Lots of people there, and they've actually got a handle on it now. It's not going up. It's going down. It's slowly, but it's going down. And good for you, America. You had the vaccine rollout. You did not spare a dime, and that's what America does. They don't spare a dime on anything. And when it comes to getting a huge thing of maybe did Biden have something to do with that? I'm sure he did. But obviously they had one goal, one mindset, and just moving forward, get this vaccine in people's arms.
Yeah.
And that was it. And good on them. We're obviously have a slow rollout because, our whole vaccine story in the beginning was really stupid. For Canada to really, shit the bed on putting all their eggs in one basket, having the bottom of that basket falling out instantly when 100 people said the bottom's going to fall, the bottom's going to break on that basket. Don't put everything in that basket. And the basket broke.
Yeah.
And then we're left scrambling.
Yeah.
And we don't have a huge population. I think that's obviously not helping out is how our land mass is, and the low population isn't probably making this an easy thing. But still, good for you, America, and on your rollout. So I like America. I want to be able to visit America. I don't want to live in America, but I would love to visit you guys. I love to visit you. My downstairs neighbor. I'd love to visit you for a drink.
Yeah. The only arguments I don't get is against healthcare. When they say it's a socialist thing, but at the same time they have, like socialist security in the police. They have socialist, fire departments. So like it's all paid for by the community. Like you don't have to call somebody and they don't say, hey, do you have money for me to put out your house? No, they just go to your house because it's paid for through taxes, which is socialism. Sorry. So I think, at the same time, you got to put, if you're going to put one thing, which is, saving lives, as a priority in the police force and the fire department, you got to do it in the health department too.
Well, I've never. That's the weirdest thing about America. They have sometimes there's this ancient fucking sayings like ingrained to their mind, like the war against weed that they had in America forever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's just like the same thing with healthcare, Kelly. It's like they have it linked to communism for some weird reason. Like, no, healthcare is communist. No. Yeah. I'll rather die than be a commie. You know what I mean? It's like I know exactly what you're saying. Like it's the stupidest thing.
And it's like, but police and fire department aren't.
It's the dumbest way of thinking. Like I said, and America has a way of they have like this ancient shit that's just ingrained. Oh, my grandpappy said this, so it's the truth. He's a grandpappy. It has to be real. It is the dumbest thing. And healthcare is that thing. I've never understood that.
And the thing is, if you keep your population healthy, more people are working more often and generating a bigger income for your government. Like,
people are having more kids because it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to have a child.
Yeah. And they're producing more income for the government.
Exactly.
Taxes.
You don't say.
It's just
interesting concept.
Oh, man, it makes no sense.
The one thing is everything, I think, obviously I don't want to get too political here, but I think we already have. I'm not left and I'm not right, but I think with how quiet America has been, I think it's a sigh of relief for Americans. Maybe those redneck morons disagree with me, but I think America's been nice and quiet. Nothing's been going on down there. Yeah, everything's been going good. Nothing to report here. You know what I mean? Everything, we're fine. Are you guys fine?
Here's something controversial.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people want to impeach Trump. I think that's a bad idea because there's going to be a lot of, like what you said, those redneck morons, and they're going to take up guns, man.
They already take up. They have like 50 to 1 guns. They have.
you don't want them storming the Capitol again. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know what else you can do with Trump, but impeach, like, there's gonna be issues, and I don't want another civil war going on.
And I think that's the reason why America's been so quiet too, Kelly, is because Trump has been incredibly quiet too.
Yeah, and I think he's been quiet because he knows there's the impeachment trial.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I hear what you're saying though. Bad. Is it a bad idea? I think. It's a tough one. Did what he say and tweet and do rile these dudes up? Absolutely. Did they need that much help to get riled? Not a ton, No, exactly. They didn't need a lot. They didn't need a lot of pushing to wear all their fake tactical gear and their sunglasses and shit and their fake America Army patches and shit that they bought off eBay and get out of their parents' basement because they lost their job due to COVID, and that's just what's fueled their crazy conspiracy theorist shit up even more. And I don't care, man. Like, these conspiracy theorist people that listen to the show and they're like super into it. If you don't like this opinion, then fuck off. Honestly, because I don't really give a shit. But I just tune it out.
Or just keep listening and don't worry about it.
No, exactly. No, but I'm just saying that these people get so offended. These people who are going to pick fights on Facebook and shit like that, they get so it takes nothing to get these fucking people riled right up with fake YouTube videos and fake stats from uncredited websites or uncredited anything
with no links or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Memes with zero input, you know what I mean? Yeah. And zero actual facts in it. And it takes no time at all for these people to start piling this shit out on a certain topic, and it's disgusting. I tune it out. I can't even stand it anymore. But I have just ingrained into my mind just to straight up ignore it.
Yeah.
Because it's so wacky sometimes, man. It is absolutely so wacky. And I think it's, when you don't want to paint everyone with one brushstroke, but this is unfortunately one place where I would not want to associate people with people who are too far off the deep end when it comes to this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will brush them all with one stroke of that paintbrush. You're a psycho. Stay away from me.
I saw this one person who's like, now that Biden won, I can't wait to drive around with my American flag and Biden sign for the next 4 years. It's like, why do you have Trump on your vehicle for 4 years?
I know.
He already won.
Like, what the hell?
It's so weird. It was definitely a cult following.
It really was. Yeah, it really was. Well, I think it's just the QAnon shit, just the internet, you know what I mean? How strong the internet is now, obviously. And, different ways to communicate with different people. Yeah. The whole groups thing on Facebook really took off, I think, in the last few years, you know what I mean?
One thing we learned from all this is that it wasn't that there's dumb people from lack of information. Because now that there's an internet and abundance of it, has nothing to do with lack of information. It's just ignorance.
It really is, yeah. Wow, well said, Kelly. Well said. You hit the nail on the head with that one, my man. And with that, we got incredibly sidetracked and new political news and new political opinions coming at you.
I like
right down the middle. That's what my political show would be called. Right down the middle with Steven.
Totally, man. Healthcare and guns. I'm all for both. Why not?
They go hand in hand.
They actually do.
Exactly. Oh boy. All right, let's get to some MMA news. Big announcement, I think, and where I think it works out perfectly. What we were talking about a lot last week with these journeyman fighters, these pioneer fighters. But these two dudes do go underneath the moniker of legends, and it will be Donald Cowboy Cerrone will be taking on Diego the Nightmare Sanchez. It's going to be rumored to go down in the summertime. I think if this fight makes sense, two legends going at it, 155, 170. Who knows what's going to happen?
I do. But
yeah, I know. It could be easily seen as a very one-sided beatdown by Cowboy Cerrone, and I think the fight makes sense for both dudes. Yeah. For a fight where I think it would be the least amount of brain damage that Diego Sanchez would take against a dude, and on the other side of that coin, it will be an easy win for Cowboy.
Diego Sanchez will be very durable, but keep coming forward and just doing that brawler. Throw punches, look mean mugging at you. And then Donald Cerrone will be technical, lining his punches. Yeah, I can't see it going too far. Diego Sanchez isn't going to go for the liver. Like, people know to go for Donald Cerrone's liver. He's not going to go for his liver. You know what I mean? He's just, the stomach. He's just going to swing for the fences like he always does. And,
headhunt like crazy.
Yeah, Donald Cerrone's just going to keep lining. It's going to be fun to watch.
I think so, too. I'm going head kick finish by Cerrone or knee. Head kick or knee. I'm gonna go 2. I get 2 picks here.
I like it.
And but I think size-wise, I think I would. I always say this every episode. No matter any way you slice it, it all comes down to how you stack shit. And we got 2 dudes here, and I think the size-wise is finally going to favor Diego Sanchez for once, where he's been fighting at 155 and 170, and he really should be at 145 almost, and he's probably even small for that weight division. Yeah. He's really, age is obviously, lifting weights constantly, putting yourself in the gym. I'm sure it's taken a half an inch off his height, and at his age and how much mileage he's put on those tires. He's not what he used to be. He's definitely not anywhere near as jacked as he was. Maybe TRT could help him out. And I think, Cowboy is one of the smaller 170s, and, he's a decent-sized 155er.
Crazy how, sorry to cut you off.
No, not at all.
It's crazy how Diego started off at 205 at King of Cage. 205, he was like the champ there at King of Cage.
And competed at 185 on the show.
Yeah, he's a big guy before. And, he keeps shrinking down. And the other thing that's funny too is he has amazing wrestling. Yeah. And if he used it, I could see him beat Donald Cerrone, but he's not going to.
No.
Like that's the thing. He hasn't used his wrestling in forever. But he used to take people down and ground and pound all the time. Ground and pound
was his big thing in the beginning, exactly. Yeah.
So and I think because of Donald Cerrone's higher center of gravity and he's this longer, lankier, that he could have easily, because he has a size, could take him down, but no, he's not. That's so crazy to me. I don't know.
I think the worst part about Diego Sanchez's game planning these days, obviously, his head coach. The guy's been called out many times. I can't remember his name. But been called out many times. It's just basically a whack job, a fake, and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But he's become like basically best friends with Diego Sanchez, so much so where they started an OnlyFans together, and where he takes nothing but his advice.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's not what you think. There's nothing. There is nothing. No man-on-man stuff going on. It's just mostly just them working out and being suggestive. You know what I mean? They are being suggestively. You know what I mean? Like that hilarious comic that was on Saturday Night Live, and they're being like ambiguously gay type thing.
Ambiguously gay duo.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's funny. Oh,
I'm going I'm going Cowboy on this one. And I think it's what they deserve. It's another paycheck, a retirement bout for Diego Sanchez, and I think Cowboy's got a few more of these legend fights. I think these legend fights are right up Cowboy's alley, and this is the beginning of his end.
And it's also a good bet.
Yep, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, straight. I would love to see the line on that one, and we'll see what happens. The rumor to go down this summer.
Yeah.
And in some incredibly shitty news, Khamzat Chimaev, show favorite, officially out versus Leon Edwards. He cannot get cleared to fight.
He's ducking with COVID. He gave himself COVID just to duck Leon. He's like, oh man, a real competitor. I don't know what to do. I'm going to go get some COVID from these 5G towers. Just standing next to those 5Gs to get his COVID.
He was licking a 5G pole. He was licking a 5G tower. Instant corona. That's how you get it. That's how you get it. OMG. That is too much. That is too much, Kelly. Well played. Well played. And that is what happened. It is well documented. But sad news. Let's hope for this guy can come back. They're saying his lungs are scarred to shit from it.
Yeah, everybody who gets COVID apparently. It sucks, man.
Cody Garbrandt is in the same boat. Gilbert Burns last night, he looked okay. But like that's what they're saying. It's affecting people differently. Yeah. Everyone gets affected differently. Some people don't get any symptoms, and here we see Kamzat get severe symptoms. He's a long hauler. There's talk of these people who are these long haulers, and it looks like Kamzat Chimaev is a long hauler.
It seems like the people who work super hard in the gym, like Cody.
Yep.
Whatever.
Garbrandt.
He got it really bad too, and he was saying like he was on penicillin for like a long time.
Wow.
Like antibiotics for a long time before he actually got it for something else, and he was also like working out in the gym like way too much, and he like feeling super tired, and then he got it. So I think because his body was already fucking like depleted.
Yeah. It just took over. Yeah. Good call, Kelly. Maybe since he was out of that weakened state. Since when the virus first got in there, it did more damage because his immune system was already lowered.
Yeah, so maybe it's the same thing.
Good call. That's because that's why it's affecting old people so bad, because their immune system isn't as strong as a younger person. Yeah. Interesting concept. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Interesting. Absolutely. Maybe, and I think Kamzat's that same dude. I think he's a gym rat too. Exactly. Maybe he was battling something else, a staph infection or something, and since his body had been fighting off the staph infection or something like that, COVID got in and really wrecked shop.
Yeah.
Who does Leon Edwards fight now, though? Does he get the shot of the belt next? You know what I mean? Does he get everyone's saying Colby Covington? Do we see Colby Covington get that step up for that fight?
Let's do Leon versus Colby. That sounds good.
A lot of people want to see that fight. Do we see Rafael Dos Anjos poke his head back up in there 170 for a last second bout?
He needs an easier guy to. I think he's been getting beat up pretty bad. Like Rafael.
Yeah.
I think he's been taking a lot of damage, and I think he can't keep taking that kind of damage. I think he needs an easier fight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He had 3 absolute wars where he did get beat up by Leon Edwards recently too. That Colby Covington fight, he got beat up pretty good in that one too. Exactly. Those were all decision fights where he was on the receiving end of a unanimous decision every single time. And he's obviously just a little bit too small. I think he likes sitting at 170. He's a little bit too small for 170. Yeah. Him going back down to 155, I think is a good move which he has been quite successful at. But I'm just saying, for dudes who get a call up, if if Dana White's gonna come knocking with a truck full load of money, he likes to say yes to the first person. I think Rafael Dos Anjos is on his speed dial. But I don't see it. Exactly. I don't see him this time. But it should be interesting. I think if we don't see him fight for the belt, I think Colby Covington kind of makes most sense right now, and I think it'd be one of the tougher tests for him too. With Colby Covington's wrestling style, in your face style, and I think it's always one of those things too. If you can beat Colby, you have a good chance to beat Usman, or you're going to at least be able to compete with Usman, and. Because they are similar styles. But only time will tell. Where does Leon Edwards sit, and when does Kamzat Chimaev make his return? I'm going to think it's probably going to be fall. I think he's that sick.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Damn, homie.
Huge announcement coming out from the press conferences that have been aplenty this weekend is that Jon Jones will be taking on the winner of Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou. So Jon Jones basically guaranteed to get an instant title shot in his move up to heavyweight. But hold the phone, because Jon Jones is a calling, and he says, I want more money.
When doesn't he? Like, he always I'm going to do this, and this all over social media.
Yeah.
And then he's like, but I want more money.
He's like, look, I haven't been busted for blow. I haven't hit anybody in 2 years. I deserve this. I deserve this. I'm still pissing hot, but that's what you guys want.
Yeah.
I'm still pissing hot every day of the week. Doesn't matter. Those pico amounts, I tell you, they just don't ever go away. I tried and tried to get rid of those pico amounts of steroids, but I must have done a lot. Either way, all joking aside, I like the move. I think it would be a mega fight. I kind of wanted to see him fight someone else, though. But it's Jon Jones. He left 205 as the champ. All the pictures, if you've seen him, he just looks absolutely jacked. He looks gigantic at heavyweight. I can't wait to see what he has. His weight is quite the secret. So I'm excited to see actually what his weight is. But judging from his size, he's at least 245.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. He is looking just absolutely shredded. He put on that weight very well. Obviously, with his picograms are helping out. And, that's rumored to go down this summer, too. We got a lot of shit up in the air of going to be, of these rumors that this is going to be one of the biggest summers of UFC history. Because I think the number one thing when it comes to America, summertime, we can start seeing people in the, real crowds again. We are starting to see real crowds, in the redneckier backwards more places, like Bare Knuckle, we saw a decent crowd there, but it was still people at their own tables, definitely not an arena, like an arena setting with, with bleacher style seats, but we still see fans. And I think UFC is going to hope that they could probably fill a house for Jon Jones or every other seater, so like have a place at 50% capacity for Jon Jones versus who I think would probably Stipe maybe, but if it would be Francis, man, oh man, Jon Jones versus Francis Ngannou.
I think it's funny how he wants more money to fight a heavyweight, but like he's making more money than all the heavyweights. So it's like they're doing it for less. Why can't you? You're already making more. Like, I don't understand why he needs a bigger contract for bigger people. They're going to be slower.
He's a terrible promoter of himself, too. Yeah. He's a terrible promoter of himself, too. Yeah. Conor's done a lot of fucked up shit. And he's constantly being accused of different things, too. But he still promotes himself very well. Jon Jones isn't a great promoter.
No. He's bitter, I find.
Big time. Yeah, good call, man. He does feel super, like the world owes him something. You were blessed with an amazing family, blessed with the best physical attributes in the entire world, and he's super, super smart. He just does dumb things, and and you're gonna come out saying somebody wronged you.
Yeah, huge narcissist.
Exactly. That is an understatement. We'll break it down and see, when the fight gets announced, that's when I'll make. I don't want to assume now of who's going to be or what it's going to be. When that fight gets announced, that's when we'll break it down. Another bit of weird news, and it kind of came out with a huge head of steam right off the bat. Everyone's like, this is a real thing, of Dustin Diamond Poirier versus Conor McGregor 3, the rubber match for the 155-pound belt. And this is rumored to be going down in the summer. And I just don't know, because it seemed like there was this huge head of steam when the announcement first came out that this was real, this was going to happen, and now it's kind of gotten quiet. Every website was kind of taking it as fact, but I was a bit more reserved when I had heard it go down, and I don't know if the deal has been signed yet. There's so many aspects when it comes to this fight, Kelly, as to the yays and the nays, but I think obviously, even in my opinion, I don't really want to see the rematch that much. There's just far too many good reasons for it. There really is. When you're stacking it up, the goods versus the bads, the pros and the cons, there's just far more pros than there is cons when it comes to this. And obviously, Poirier's like, hell yeah, 2 Conor McGregor fights in a row. I can really retire.
Yeah, he's gonna be rich.
Super rich. One thing I really like about Poirier is he's got a charity he does, and the dude's like volunteering in soup kitchens and shit like that. He's actually on, he doesn't need to do that. He didn't fuck around with, with the law and have to be forced to do the community service or shit like that. He's doing it out of the good kindness of his own heart and using his platform to be able to do that.
I wonder what he's hiding. Sounds pretty fishy. I
don't know. You know what I mean? But it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. And the big thing, that reason why Dana was talking about it, is that's how Conor is with a loss. You know what I mean, Kelly? That's how Conor is with a loss. He wants that rematch right away to avenge it. You know, and like you were saying earlier, it's, you know, for him to, to avenge the Nate Diaz loss is, you know, he kind of erased that loss. If you beat the dude who beat you, you kind of can erase that loss mathematically. You really can.
In your head, you can be like, you know, I won the second fight, so I showed that I was the more evolved and better fighter now. So let's move on.
Exactly. Forget the past.
That's why he wanted Khabib so bad.
Yeah.
After that fight happened, because he wants to, in his head, erase that loss.
They really want Khabib back too, so badly. I think Khabib was a big draw, because I think he had a lot of haters too.
Yeah.
But yet he was so good. You know, to go down, you know, not many fighters go down undefeated in the UFC. The only other dude we can even count would be Jon Jones.
Yeah.
And he does technically have a loss. He technically has a loss, even though it wasn't an actual loss. So, you know what I mean? He's really the golden goose when it comes to that. You know, that's what boxing makes boxing. You know, as soon as you have that one loss, you could be 50-1. You have that one loss, it kind of tarnishes you in boxing a little bit.
My prediction is Jon Jones Bones for the heavyweight title. And on the same card, it's going to be the main event is going to be GSP versus Khabib.
Wow.
That's my prediction.
Woo-wee. You heard it here first, folks. Just a normal fight, like no belts.
No, there's going to be belts for both.
Wow.
That'd be an expensive card, though. Super expensive.
I'm down.
I bet you'd be the most bought card of all time.
In like Madison Square Garden or something like that.
Yeah.
Now that's a fight. Huh. Wow, let's listen back to episode 111, and if that is true, what a prediction!
The GSP versus Khabib will be the GOAT belt.
Wow, we got the BMF belt, and now we have the greatest of all time belt.
Yeah,
I like it.
I think it has to be.
I like it
because they both cleaned out the division.
Yeah, they really did.
That they competed in. And, you know, GSP actually moved up and beat the champion in the next division.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people are like, oh, it's Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping was the champ of the division at that time. Like, you can't take that away from him.
No, he beat Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold looked unbeatable.
Yeah.
At that time. And he got the shit kicked out of him by Luke Rockhold.
Yeah.
And then to come back and beat the dude who beat the shit out of you, and for the belt as a last-second replacement.
Yeah.
Dude was at the right place at the right time. And, hey, newsflash, it happened to George St. Pierre, too. Against, you know, Matt Serra. That's what, you know, the kind of the thing I wanted to talk about later on was the whole these record shit, you know, with Usman and GSP, and that one loss against Matt Serra really screwed up his numbers. You know what I mean? Because he was on a huge streak before that Matt Serra loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that, you know, that was kind of like in the early, you know what I mean, the first quarter of his title reign. That he loses to Matt Serra, you know what I mean? And, you know, deservedly so. He did lose that night, came back to avenge it, obviously. But when you're stacking up Usman's accomplishments to George St. Pierre's, he has that Matt Serra loss kind of in the middle to kind of mess up his record. It's not like he cares. His legacy is still built. But when you're actually counting numbers, his aren't as impressive as Usman because of that loss to Matt Serra. You know what I mean? But, you know, I mean, that, like I said, we'll get into a whole Usman thing at the end of the show.
I think that loss was GSP's biggest learning moment.
Big time.
In his MMA career, where he took that loss and, you know, developed a more of a boring style, but he won, like, definitively every round that he fought since then.
A similar style to Usman's with the jab.
Yeah. Probably a better jab than Usman.
It was a jab, exactly. You know, I mean, the two strongest MMA jabs I think we've ever seen is Usman and GSP, but GSP was, you know, broke Koscheck's face with that jab.
Yeah, exactly. I was
broke
say,
multiple
let's take
noses.
A picture
yeah,
of Koscheck after that fight. And
Usman did, you know, Usman did bust up Colby Covington's jaw, broke his jaw with it. You know what I mean? But still,
I think breaking somebody's orbital is a lot harder than breaking a jaw.
Definitely, especially with a jab. No, hey, I'm the biggest GSP fan there is. Absolutely. I'm just saying you know, I mean, Usman's going to be in that. He's going to be in that territory. Is one of the best as well. But, you know, I mean, obviously, Prime GSP versus Prime Usman. We'll find out how that stacks up at the end of the show.
Yeah. You'll hear all about it.
All about it. Biggest news. We are being teased by Bellator all week that there was some big announcement coming down. The first big announcement is that Bellator has signed with Showtime and has found a home on Showtime. Hopefully we can find a show that, you know, a channel that will be carrying it in Canada, because I'll be very upset, as I have been for the last few months with Bellator and not being able to watch it up in Canada, which is pure bullshit. But nonetheless, they announce a light heavyweight Grand Prix tournament with the champion involved in it. I always like those style tournaments. It's got a lot of bangers. Obviously, I think it makes a lot of sense with all their new signees. It works out perfectly. Obviously, with the three, half the field is three brand new UFC signees, and the other half is a bunch of dudes who did fight in the UFC as well, except for one dude who I have no clue who it is, and I don't even know how to pronounce this dude's name. Let's just get started with this guy here and breaking down this card. He'll be taking on Corey Overtime Anderson, and let's see if I can pronounce this dude's name here, Kelly. I'm just gonna look up his record here because I really know zero about this dude. Look at this name here, Kelly.
David Shavand Yahimodov. Now you can try.
What? Dovelzan Yagasmiranov. I just fudged a bunch of shit in there, man. Yagsmiradov. Yeah, I think it's how you deal with it. It's from Turkmenistan, so that explains it all right there. It's a very common name in Turkmenistan. Younger guy, 31. So he's right in a fight prime, 18-5, and he is. He's on quite the streak right now. Maybe he's the ACA champion. I'm not sure who this dude is. So maybe he is the ACA champ. Maybe we are seeing Bellator work with the ACA and ACB company. They've signed Frank Mir a while back, but then kind of released him after they didn't really give him a fight. It's a Russian organization, and this dude fighting at 205. It doesn't look like there's definitely no names on this guy's resume. Joakim Christensen, is that somebody that? Yeah, this dude. Yeah, he did fight for the UFC. Joakim Christensen, he has a knockout over, which a former UFC fighter. Didn't have a great UFC career. He went 1-3. Basically, probably was hired more as a European guy that had on the European undercards. He has a big loss over Dominic Reyes gave him his walking papers. That'll help. So he's a little bit of the big lights experience with a win over him. Other than that, not a crazy record. 18-5. Let's see who this dude is. He's got a tough test in front of him and one hell of a American wrestler in Corey Anderson. And that fight will go down April 9th. At the Mohegan Sun Arena. So that's that one on the April 9th. So they're gonna have this tournament all through March and April is when it's gonna be. So we'll also have Ryan Bader will be taking on Lyoto Machida in a rematch. That would be on the same card on April 9th. And then we'll have Vadim Nebkov putting his belt on the line against Phil Davis in the tournament form. So that's pretty damn cool. And we will see the newly signed dudes going head to head here, Kelly. Anthony Rumble Johnson were square off with Yoel Romero, April 16th. Woo-wee!
That's going to be a lot of CTE. Don't miss it.
A lot of CTE and a lot of roids.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah, man. They both can just fucking go at it
Juice it up.
That's going to be awesome. It's going to be the Hulk versus the Hulk. It's going to be like that robotic Hulk versus the real Hulk.
Exactly. It's going to be the Hulk Buster versus the Hulk.
There you go.
Gonna be I'm excited though. Well done, Bellator. This bullshit better be in Canadian TV or else. I'll be upset. I'm gonna be sad. That's what's gonna happen here.
Be a sad panda.
I will be very sad. I cannot wait for this one to go down. And there's $1 million at stake, Kelly. The belt and $1 million bucks.
Fighter? I don't know.
Yeah, for a tournament, and it's still $1 million. It's $1 million bucks guaranteed. You know, I'm sure they're gonna be. They must be getting some kind of pay on top of their pay per fight as well. But so if you're dangling that $1 million check at the end there for that one last fight, I think people are gonna be happy.
There has to be some people who know they have no chance, though.
Obviously, like the one dude, Dolzelzan, Dovletzan. Yeah, I think that's how you just pronounce it. Dovletzan. He's definitely, he's probably given the easiest route in, out of all those. Well, I guess, maybe Lyoto Machida would probably be the easiest fight, and that's why they're giving him, that's why, Ryan Bader has deserved that. Definitely on the other side of the tournament, whoever wins that, Phil Davis has got to take on either Yoel Romero or Anthony Rumble Johnson, and same with Vadim Nebkov. But I really like it. I like the fact that they have the two blue chip signees going head to head right in the first round. They're not fucking around in the hopes that they will meet up. They're just putting them against each other, because we've seen that in the past where dudes have they've put two big guys on each other end hoping they'll meet in the middle, and then an upset happens, and then it's another dude they don't want to face the other guy, and that's what kind of happens. So good move for them on this.
Oh fuck.
That rounds out the news. Other than getting COVID here, Kelly, what working out did you get up to this week, man?
That's funny. Well, I did do the shoveling on Saturday.
Yeah,
so that was
nice.
pretty good. No, I've just been taking it like super easy because I've been feeling it in my knees and my elbows. So I'm thinking that like my tendons need to rest a bit. So yeah, I've been taking it super easy. No heavy lifting. All just light stuff like body work stuff. Like full body, I mean.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't been like really benching, squatting, or anything in the last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just all light stuff. Just giving my tendons time to heal and grow, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I definitely like everything was a little bit sore. I definitely needed to rest again.
Nice. Oh, yeah. You know about your body best, man, and you said, hey, I gotta rest. I know I can do things, but right now, after that mega workout, I gotta rest. How long, distance-wise, do you think that you shoveled?
How long?
Yeah, like distance-wise.
Two straight lines. Distance-wise, probably like, I don't know, like 150 feet.
Still, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It was pretty deep snow out in Oligo, too.
Oh, big time.
So, yeah.
And that's times two. That's times two, right?
And it was pretty frozen too, so I had to like really dig in there.
Wow.
So yeah.
What a trooper. Well, that's what separates the men from the boys, man. You know what I mean? And I'm always, I've had that moment, coming, I think it's like farming background or something. Sometimes, especially when the going gets tough, when it comes to physical work, I've always had a strong back, and you just got to put your nose to the grindstone and just fucking go at it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you have always done too, Kelly, with your working out and your previous work jobs as well. Where you just put your nose to the grindstone and just fucking plow ahead and just keep fucking plowing. Doesn't matter what your body says. Oh, that you're hurt, or that you're not that you're hurt, but that you're tired and that you need a break, or that it's too hard. With limitations, obviously, just to keep fucking pushing.
Yeah.
Just to keep pushing and telling your body that you know it better than it does.
So I may or may not work out again today, but it really depends on, like, this morning, like, my elbows were still kind of sore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I may take one more day and just go at it again tomorrow. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now. So we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Best part about that is the sense of I'm sure the sense of accomplishment you feel after that's why people work out and love it, because the endorphins you get from that sense of accomplishment, right? And pushing yourself to the next level. Once you drove your truck out of there, you know what I mean? You're like, thank God.
That's like when I'm lifting, like sometimes like my wife says she'll hear me say "woo" after like I lift something heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm like excited that I
big
got
time.
it out.
Oh, big time.
Nothing
Absolutely.
hurts, like everything worked well, basically. So I get excited when everything
Yeah, I do that at work all the time. Absolutely. When you're really, really hauled that thing in there, man. Yeah. Absolutely.
Feels good.
Good call.
Yeah, but like once again, like you really gotta pay attention to like tendon stuff. Like I said, micro tears can repair. They can. Your tendons will repair and get thicker as you're working out. If you rip it though, if you like, it can be good. Like never repairable. It can be done for good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of people that they try to staple it back on there. It just doesn't hold. So, especially if you're gonna try to weight train again. Like, there's no way with, like, some repaired tendons. Like, there's no way to keep working out, basically.
Well, I think when you're already in that kind of that mental state of being a bit nutty when it comes to pushing too hard, what do you think that person's going to do? They're going to come back too early.
Yeah.
And then try to do what they did before.
Yeah, exactly.
Somehow get a different result.
So yeah, just,
Nice.
Take it easy.
Good for you, man. Especially with the cold, we had one fucking cold snap and a half. That cold was not normal for us, man. That was a fucking Arctic chill cold. Damn you, Arctic! Can't you warm up already?
It's funny because I got like a week off because I was pretty sore. Then I did like probably like 4 good workouts, and then I got sore again. But it happens.
Well, exactly. No, that's a no pain, no gain, right? You did it, and you knew take a break.
I don't care about like muscle soreness. That's different. Like, way different.
Yeah.
Like, my muscle can be as sore as it wants to be. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You just keep working muscles.
That's right.
Don't want to hear you bitching.
I like the lactic acid feeling where you, like, work out so much that you get, like, basically a strain where, like, if you make a muscle, it stays that way for a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Like, again, in my forearms, you know what I mean, from lifting and shit like that, where it's just like super swollen, and you can really feel the muscle in there. Absolutely,
exactly.
Not a lot less not much. I've been to that point too, where you got so much buildup where it's just like, oh no, my arms are fucking useless.
It's great though.
Back by popular demand, reviewing the reviews. Going back to a goodie, just because I was trying to think, I'm doing too much shit in the South, Kelly. I think it's easy, you know what I mean? Hey, I don't want to pick on you guys, but there's a good amount of people from the South that aren't that bright. Yeah, I'm sorry. I saw this billboard. I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe American fans can fill me in. But it was like a billboard in Alabama, and it was seriously an anti-incest billboard. And I was like, you really need to put this shit on billboards? What the fuck is wrong with you? And it was disturbing, man. And the slogan on the billboard was, "It's your daughter, not a date," is what the bill...
I don't know if that's just incest.
I know. Jeez. What is going on down there, America?
What the
So it's easy to do this South. I love the South. I would love, I think I could see myself living in the South. It seems very nice. But I want to think I got to go to a place that everybody hates. Everyone hates it so much. They even hate themselves so much. And they are known the world around as having some of the douchiest people living there. And I'm going straight to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, PA. And I'm going to one of the shittiest places you can find, Kelly. McDonald's. What place is going to bring on the ire of the scum of the earth other than a McDonald's in a massive, ancient, old, smelly ass city like Philadelphia?
Did you know that Tom Hanks used to live in Philadelphia? Unfortunately, he got AIDS and died, but it looked like a nice place back then.
You're only mentioned in the beginning of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as the place that Will Smith left because it was so shitty. It was so shitty. His mom's like, "You're gonna be something, but you ain't gonna be nothing in East Philly." So I'm sending you to California where you can be something. That's all you're known for, Philadelphia. He maybe won a Super Bowl recently too, but who gives a shit about that?
The place where Will moved away from.
That's the slogan on the sign as you drive in.
Will was born here. Will Smith.
The one thing I do love about Philadelphia, but it just goes to more further my point is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, one of my most favorite shows, but the reason why I love it is because they are incredibly douchey assholes. They're like they are typical scum of the earth in that show, and that's the characters they portray as true Philadelphians. And that's what I'm going with, America. That's all I have to go off of here. Obviously booing Santa and throwing batteries at teams that are against your team is just one of the many things, but I digress here. This one here has a ton of reviews. 3.2 stars, 1,681 reviews. Number one tag is drive-through. That's a big thing for you guys in the big city there, drive-through. Also, one thing is tags is 30 tags to cold and 14 tags to machine. So I can only imagine that is the ice cream machine. This one's a good one here because it's just perfect for Philadelphia. LB's 32 reviews, 6 photos, 2 stars 2 weeks ago. The drive-through line was out of the parking lot, so an employee informed each driver in line that they could go inside to order if they preferred. I'm assuming it's went in, and it actually took longer to get our food than the drive-thru would have taken. And then we got home, I realized they charged me for a 4-piece nugget that my younger son didn't get. It isn't the first time our order was not complete. You don't say. That's McDonald's for you.
So the 4-piece nugget missing, that's a gripe. Like that.
Yep.
I can understand that. The fact that he's like, hey, the lineup's out of the parking lot, and the person's like, well, you can go inside if you want. You don't have to fucking park on the street. I don't think that's them telling you to go inside.
Because it will be faster.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's like a decision that they're telling you can make instead of just like staying on the street, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude's trying to direct traffic on like probably like $9 an hour.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be like, that's what I always love. It's like these people who are paid minimum wage, you're going to expect that their decision is of a university quality. I got newsflash for you. You get what you pay for. And this is what happens when you go to McDonald's.
They told me I could go inside, so I did, and it took longer. Well, yeah, they told you could go inside instead of waiting in a lineup that's out of the parking lot.
I asked him for stock advice, and he gave me bad information. 1 star.
Oh, man. I wonder what kind of stock advice. Like, what company? Probably GameStop.
Probably GameStop, just because of Reddit. Or McDonald's. I don't know. Invest in McDonald's. They're always busy.
You should invest in GameStop. I saw it on the news. All right, it's $350. Let's buy 70. What? It's $50.
Moving right along here, Kelly. TS, 63 reviews, 25 photos, 1 star, a week ago. Very current. Yesterday, crew members were outside throwing snowballs while I waited for my order to be placed in the drive-thru.
God forbid they have a break.
I know, God, exactly. You aren't paid that $9 to break. Had to keep saying hello for someone to hear me. Then I was given the wrong size when I paid for a large and only got a medium. Why ask me what I had when you looking at the order? Okay.
I guess I you know what? I'm not even gonna guess.
Why ask me what I had when you looking at the order? Then had to wait for my sandwich, only to be given to me while the guy was eating a cookie. Unprofessional. He's eating a cookie. I can see that. That's the only thing that actually does sound true about this.
Yeah.
About this. Here's your sandwich. Is he's like mowing down a cookie?
Fully stoned. Not even realize he's eating the cookie.
Oh, that is good. Oh man, that is rich.
That was good, man. I like it.
Yep.
Sounds like McDonald's.
Oh, very accurate.
Imagine it was his cookie.
I know. He's like, God damn, I ordered 2 cookies, only one in here.
Oh shit, man, that was yours.
Oh, never changed, McDonald's. Never changed.
Cold in here.
Two good ones here. IB, 51 reviews, 22 photos, 2 stars a month ago. Another very current run. It took me forever to get my order. Then, when I did, it was wrong. I had to get it back and move. I had to give it back and move to the 3rd window and wait another 7 minutes to get what I assumed was yet another wrong order. But I didn't realize until I got home they don't always mess up like this, but tonight was slow and bad. They have it as SMMFH. So much motherfucking hate.
I don't understand what they mean. When they got home, they found out that they didn't realize it was always that bad.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly. They're saying that they do like going there, but that night that was terrible. So it's kind of weird for you to say that. It's almost like when you're trying to say something critical with someone, you don't want to really bring up something good.
Yeah. You know what I liked, man? When I was in like a teenager, I was a swing manager at McDonald's.
Yeah.
So I could get like free food.
Yep.
And fuck, man, I had so much McDonald's when I was a teenager. Like
I bet.
I just go there all the time and get free food.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I didn't know you were working today, Kelly. No, I'm just hungry.
Exactly, man. I just walked down there at night with some of my friends.
That's hilarious. And then what I love about this one is they didn't double check the order the second time. I love that. They got the wrong order, go up to wait for their own new order, and then didn't realize it was bad again. Love it. Good one. This one's hilarious. It's typical people like mad at the other customers, not the employees. AB, 24 reviews, 17 photos, 1 star a month ago. The worst McDonald's in Philly, hands down. I had a bunch of kids. A bunch of kids playing and cussing. You can't wait up to an hour or more. What, an hour or more? I think you're maybe over embellishing. You waited for food for an hour. I drive for DoorDash. The orders are never ready, and you miss out on money with the vendor every time. Very confusing. Put down the meth pipe. You can't wait up to an hour or more. You can wait up to an hour or more. Bullshit. No one waits for an hour for food.
Way.
That's impossible.
And also with DoorDash, you can either accept or deny deliveries. You don't have to take it.
Then just say, oh, I know that McDonald's is bad. They made me wait an hour. Yeah. An hour for food. You don't have to wait for an hour for food for like at the K or like at like a fancy restaurant. You don't wait an hour for food.
And I also assume he's saying he's missing out on money because he can't take more orders because he has to wait an hour. But that's, like he said, it's bullshit. Like,
go get a different one then.
Like that McDonald's would have no customers. Everybody would be like, man, you gotta wait an hour for anything. Like, it's not worth it. It's worse than like fucking a restaurant, like going to a restaurant and dining in like an hour.
Yeah, I know exactly. Give me a break.
There's a fucking wait list when you walk into McDonald's and they put your name down.
Exactly. I know exactly. There's a concierge or like a hostess that's there to see you. How many tonight at McDonald's?
Are you dining in or dining out? Dining out. Okay, the wait is 1 hour to place your order.
Plus.
You can just stand around with the rest of the people in the freezing cold. Thank you.
All right, let's end it off with this one here, Kelly. This one's good because this person just seems like a piece of shit too. Why? 13 reviews, 8 photos, 1 star 2 months ago. They don't wear gloves or hairnets when handling your food and frequently keep their mask pulled down all the way. They forgot my drink, So I said that, and the girl snatched my bag of fries and nuggets and dug her hand around there, like dug her hand into there like the drink isn't in there. This was also after using her presumably dirty phone and handling others' orders. They refused to remake the food and frequently scream/curse out customers and Uber drivers. That's Philadelphia. What do you expect?
Fuck.
So grabs her bags. Hey, I can get my drink. Grabs her bag like she hid her drink. It's like, no, you do this to me the other day. You hid your drink in the bag of food. Like
it's under your fries.
And like who would do that? Exactly. Like that dollar. Like it doesn't even cost. Like McDonald's like pre-mixes their shit. Yeah. Their post mixes their shit. It probably costs them like half a penny for a single drink because there's so much goddamn ice in it. Like the person's gonna make a huge fuss over not giving you your drink.
She lost me in the beginning with the hair nets and gloves. Like go fuck yourself. There's soap and like hair nets. You got hats at McDonald's. Everyone wears hats. Who cares? So I don't care about that shit. But then she got me with the whole fucking like putting her hand in her bag after using her phone and shit. Like that's gross.
Super gross. I got to extend this here, Kelly. I got two more here to read. I got a newbie review, and this one is amazing because this guy's a total idiot. BJ, 4 reviews, 2 photos, 1 star, 5 months ago. I ordered a large Big Mac meal, a triple cheeseburger, and a McFlurry, and I received a normal cheeseburger, no Big Mac, no large fries, no McFlurry, but a wrong drink. Good work, McDonald's. How the fuck could you not notice that that bag has 1 burger in it?
So I have a tiny bag with a couple napkins
and a drink. The McFlurries and the drinks are totally different. How high were you, sir, to walk home with like this McFlurry is rattling around? It seems oddly loose, almost like, and it's in a container like pop. This McFlurry is very different. Anyways, I'm not going to double check until I get home. And this bag is awfully light for a triple cheeseburger, a Big Mac, and large fries.
Oh, shit.
Nowhere. I shouldn't be worried, though. This is McDonald's, where they have exemplary service when it comes to making orders correct.
They probably called out a number. The guy misheard, grabbed somebody else's fucking meal, and walked away. Next guy was like, yeah, fuck, I'll take this.
What an idiot. I'm blaming this guy, though. What a dumbass. Man. Newbie review here, though, Kelly. We got to end it on newbie review here. LB1 review and new podcast. Newbie review. 1 star, 6 months ago. Me and my boyfriend went to this McDonald's at night and waited in the drive-thru for 20 minutes with no answer at all. We pulled around to the window to ask what the holdup is, and there's 1 car sitting there for at least 10 minutes. Trying to get the right order. We got no food, no service. They need to get it together.
Okay.
You need to get it together on writing reviews. Terrible review.
I got nothing from that.
I know, me either. You're an idiot is all I got from it. And I want, you know what I mean? Like, what time at night are we talking about here? Are we talking the AM? Are we talking actual night? Because, you know what I mean? There's always that time, Kelly, when we've all been out there, you got your designated driver, you're out drunk after a night of drinking, and everyone wants to hit up something. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if you've ever been to one of those places, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. plus, you're going to be lucky to get served. You really will. I don't know what goes on. I've been to these multiple times. It's not because I'm obliterated that I can't tell time. I know time, and something happens. These places are just super inefficient at that time, and they're just generally dicking around. One or the other. Never a good time to go and get food and be reliable. Ran long on that one, but we had some good ones. Philadelphia, PA, you suck. And we will take a little break here right after these brief messages.
Do you want to get into stocks and cryptocurrency? Do you live in Canada? Well, it's simple. Makes buying stocks and crypto easy. Just download the app, follow the instructions, and you could start buying stocks and cryptocurrency in no time. Well, simple.
With the temperatures dropping from coast to coast to coast, make sure you fill up on tons of water. Don't get dehydrated out there with this dry cold. Especially you down in the south of America there. I know you ain't used to this stuff, but it's called snow. You can eat it. You can throw snowballs with it. You can even make a snowman and do whatever you want with it. Wink. Snow! Brought to you by the water company. Do you like being censored unnecessarily? Do you like annoying conspiracy theorist people going on rants and rants and rants? How about ads that are incredibly annoying and impossible to get away with? Facebook! Mike Zuckerberg approves. Try Facebook today. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our commercials and go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water in the house. You know I'm talking tap water. Let's talk some motherfucking video games. As you might have imagined, I played a ton of Cyberpunk this week. Not as much as I played previous week, but when I did find time, that's what I really love about the game, like I talked about last week, Kelly, was you don't really need a ton of time to play. You can do missions here and there, save at most times. You can't save during certain missions, which I kind of like. They made it difficult that way, where you got to complete the whole thing. You can't kill a dude, save the game. Kill a dude, save the game. You know what I mean? So you progress. I've done that with Fallout. You can do that in Fallout. You can save any time, no matter what. And but you can't. You can only save in certain intervals during certain major missions and in between big ass battles, right? Just so they actually force you to go through it. I think that's the reason why my son has actually stopped playing it. I think because he's at such a tough battle right now that he's like, I give up. Screw this shit. But I'm doing the small missions, and I'm starting to do some of the main missions now too. So I've kind of figured it out. I thought you could do one path or the other path, but they all three of the main missions, Kelly, they all are kind of intertwined. So you kind of only can do one progression at a time, and your other missions are kind of waiting for you to do that other mission. And then once you do the other mission, then it will progress that other storyline. So that's what I'm finding out right now. Where I have one mission towards, since I had done the Johnny Silverhand missions first, I'm kind of snagged up because the next mission, there's nowhere for me to go, and the person that I need to talk to, which is telling me to talk to, doesn't have the mission to talk to me about. But I have talked to her. She's like some like Yakuza kingpin woman, or king queen. You know what I mean? Queen pin woman, king queen, queen. You know, the kind of RuPaul's Drag Race. Exactly. King queen, queen pin. She's like kind of like a Black Widow type too. She's had like 6 husbands too. She's super cool. I get a lot of missions in Japantown from her, and I had to go and do this Takamura mission with her where she gives me this thing. So now my next mission is to. With Takamura, like kind of exposing Arasaka's son as the killer of the father, you know what I mean? Because no one's gonna go against the Arasaka son, saying he's like saying I didn't kill my dad. And there's like a few people saying yes you did, and they're like no you're lying towards me and towards this Takamura guy, and so you meet this bodyguard who's the bodyguard of the daughter, and he's like a super professional as well, just like this Takamura guy is, and that's the reason why he lined up the meeting, because they have such sway with each other that if he says he needs help and he's going to hear me out, he will come hear me. And you kind of have the meeting and he kind of says I can't help you guys, sorry, but he gives you a tidbit in saying I can't help you. He says something on purpose, obviously, to give you information on your next lead, and that there's going to be this parade with the daughter, and you got to somehow talk to the daughter of the Arasaka heir guy and convince her. And they're thinking if you convince her that it was an inside job that was from the son, that you could, hopefully, have this Takamura guy be in good light with Arasaka clan again and kind of clear your name, obviously. So it's kind of interesting, and it seems like it's quite the heavy mission where it's a parade that's in the air. So it's like the vehicles are flying in the air, which some vehicles do, some vehicles don't, right? So. And there's nothing but security. There's tons and tons of security with snipers and drones and everything. So I'm assuming the mission is going to be quite insane. I think it's actually the mission that my son gave up on, because you're all up, you're 100 stories up, and you're fighting in the clouds basically, you know what I mean, and trying to figure out how to do this mission with snipers and drones and heavily armed guards too. So it sounds like it's a real cool mission. But so then I've been doing the other missions, finding the dude who can reverse the information for my chip as well. So I did a little bit of that mission, and it's a chick who actually who didn't really betray, but kind of to save her own skin. She had Johnny Silverhand die, so it's kind of their meeting of this girl named Rogue and Johnny Silverhand, even though you're the only person you can see or talk to Johnny. So it was kind of interesting with that, and she gives me some information on how to find this dude, and I think that this is where because just from watching my son play, this is, I think, the progression that is going to be the next step for me. I've done a bunch of tons and side missions. That's all I really did, really. Nothing else really to report on other than doing a whack load of side missions. Tons and tons of side missions. I love doing the side missions. It's so much fun. Such easy way to get street cred, and you can kind of do all this, set up your one after another after another. One of the cool other side missions I've been doing, Kelly, is finding this graffiti. Since your head's all messed up, it's like I'm seeing graffiti from the past on these buildings that are still standing, but the graffiti's not there, but only I can see it, and Johnny. So only I can see it, and Johnny comes to talk to me. So I think that's what it's linked to, is these images that were in Johnny's memory that I'm seeing on these buildings from the past. So they're really cool, but they're also tarot cards. So I'm not sure exactly what kind of link. If I have more, do I get an achievement, or do I get having more tarot cards in my deck of this graffiti art that I see everywhere? Does it up my stats? I don't think it does. I think it's just more for collector's items and Easter egg or hidden egg bullshit, whatever. But they're cool. They're very cool art. All of them are like the tarot card shit, like Empress and Life and Death and Chariot, crap like that, right? And it's really cool. It's really cool finding the art like that, and like I said, just planning out your missions. You can do 4 missions all in one street, all in a row. There is a whack load, Kelly, of side missions here. Really working with my finding a good rhythm with my missile launcher. It's really got me out of a lot of jams. I got a smart shotgun. Finally, Kelly, I got a smart shotgun, which is actually really, really cool. I think it's definitely my best weapon. It's really cool because it's very unique. It's super unique looking. It's like all neon and shit. And the smart shotgun is quite intense, man. It is absolutely amazing because I have my skills on Annihilation up so high right now, which is my body skill. And I have my so there's three different trees of how you can go in your body skills. One's like Street Brawler, so it's your hand-to-hand. One is for your melee weapons, and then one is Annihilation, which is for your shotguns. And I have it so I do 20% extra damage with my shotgun to the torso, and with the smart gun, it's just instant locking on their torso. I don't even have to aim at all. I just have to kind of have it in front. They got to be in front of me, and the shotgun blasts the shit out of them. So it's really, really cool with that. And it's I'm just really, really still enjoying the game. I haven't got any cool cars yet. I've amassed a ton of money because I got the double jump. Like last time I said, I got the double jump, or the mega jump, which has come in super handy. I got to keep reminding myself that I have it, because I'll come up to an area where it's totally closed off and it's a fence. Not anymore with super jump. I just jump over the fence. That's it. So I think there almost is some spots where you cannot get to without the super jump or the double jump. So that's how I actually found a piece of graffiti, was with the double jump. It's different ways, just like it's so much like Fallout. That's the reason why I love this game so much, Kelly. It's so much like Fallout, sprinkled in with Witcher almost. It's more Fallout than Witcher, I find. Because there's a bunch of different ways you can get into a room, and that's like Fallout. You can either use strength and just rip the door off the hinges. You can use technology ability, you know what I mean, and open the door tech-wise, like unlocking it, or using the computer, locksmithing it, lockpicking the door open, or blowing the door open with explosives. There's so many different ways you can get into a room, and one way is I got these leg implants that make me jump really high. Great game. Still cannot say enough good things about it, man, and I am just really, really enjoying it still. Just doing different. I did a bunch of Declan missions this week as well, just doing the cars for the guys. So I'm kind of interested to see doing all these Declan missions, how it is going to what kind of prize I'm going to get at the end of that carrot on the stick. But I have to go to the Badlands. I know for the future I will have to do some more missions in the Badlands. So I'm kind of waiting. That's what I kind of like, is the way they have layered in the missions is so seamless. You can go, like I said, you can go from mission to mission to mission, whether it be story mission or other just side missions, so seamlessly. They've done it so very well. My dude, like I'm kind of worried I'm not doing my main missions quickly enough because I think I'm like level like 18 now, and I have a ton of street cred. But you know what I mean? Maybe I get to the next level and it's actually quite hard. So we'll see how the next act in the game, every stage, like every kind of act you go through. I think there's 5 acts, and every act you go through, there's like a new background when you log in. So I think that's kind of cool too. But cannot say good enough things about it, man. What about you, Kelly? What did you get up to this week?
Just play a little Apex Legends. There's not a lot to talk about. So they have a new game mode, Locked and Loaded, right now that they're doing. Basically, it just starts out with a Mozambique and like a basic shield. It's nothing special.
Everybody.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's nothing special. You can still pick up like guns along the way.
Okay.
This is that you actually start with something instead of nothing. I don't know if it's any better. Like, I don't know if everybody starts with fists and nobody has anything and just punching each other, whether that or just shooting each other with Mozambiques. I don't know what's better, but it's okay. I unlocked and played the new character, the new Legend Fuse.
Okay, nice.
He's definitely like an assault class.
Cool.
But he's a big character, so he has like a huge hitbox.
How would you size him up, like between but obviously with the biggest dude being Gibraltar.
Yeah.
And like in between
I'd say he's like a little bit taller than Caustic, maybe, but skinnier. So he's like a little bit shorter than Gibraltar too. So he's not like a Gibraltar size, but he's probably like around the same hitbox as Caustic.
Wow, that's what my other that's what I was thinking was the name wasn't coming to my mind. There was Caustic, but still to be taller than Caustic, that's still pretty tall.
Yeah, so he's a big guy. He's like an Australian guy, I think. He has like a Australian accent. And but yeah, he's definitely a assault class. He's nice if you don't have anything in the beginning, because I was able to unlocked and loaded. I was able to knock somebody with my Mozambique, and then somebody else was coming in and I was pretty injured, so I just shot off like his one of his abilities, which is like the knuckle cluster, which is just like an explosion of little bombs, basically.
Yeah, they keep like bouncing around and explode, right?
It's not a very big area at all, but if you shoot it at somebody, chances are it's gonna damage them like pretty bad before they get out. And I think it slows them down a little bit too. So I shot that at the guy, dropped, and I just started running. And I managed to kill the guy that I dropped before he could revive him because of the knuckle cluster.
Oh, nice.
So
wow.
It was nice in that situation. Also, like, I had a couple situations where the whole group of people were, like, running at us. Like, a whole different team was running at us up a hill. And I was able to shoot that fire ring. And basically, that fire ring will either keep them in that little area so you can shoot them from the top of the hill, or they'll try to run through it and it'll like slow down plus get damage. So you can shoot them as they're running out of it as well.
Crazy.
So I was able to do that as well. I never got somebody with the fire ring and a knuckle cluster yet, but I'm sure.
Wow, that's going to be an achievement.
Good. Yeah, and but I have got like a ton of grenades and Syntax once, and just started lobbing them at another team that was like in a little house. And man, like, they must have thought it was never going to end, and they all died, like, eventually. But they just must have been like, what the fuck is this? Like, how many fucking grenades have been
lobbed? Man, that is awesome.
Because I probably had like 10 grenades and like 4 Syntax.
Wow. Yeah. Holy shit. And then your knuckle cluster in there as well is, man, how well does that thing work indoors?
Well, like, the problem is, like, indoors is fine, but the problem is it can hit other people too, right?
Right.
So you got to make sure that it's not too close to your own team or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah. Holy shit. I never thought of that. That's cool. How would you grade him out of 1 to 10? How you grade the new character?
Well, I'll probably put him up at like a 7. I don't think he's like way up at the top, but he is like
very fair.
Really good offensive character. In tight quarters, like, he's not as good. Like I said, he's gonna be lobbing grenades and shit everywhere. Right. He's gonna hit everybody, right? So but like for offense, when he's outside of a structure or someone's like coming at him, it's super good. So But like I said, he's a bigger hitbox too. So like in close combat, he's gonna be easier to knock as well. So yeah, I put him like a 7.
Yeah, that's very fair. I think that's a huge factor when you're thinking about a character is how effective they are. And what percentage of effectiveness do they have throughout the game?
Yeah.
It'd be like Wraith, she's going to obviously be 100% effective. She can use her abilities and everything all the time, right?
Yeah.
Where this dude, like you said, if he's in close quarters, you don't really want to throw grenades
exactly.
in close quarters. So, there's a factor that is a decent factor in the game when you are, it's not, obviously you don't, you would basically indoors like 25% of the time unless you're attacking somebody or hiding out from somebody, right? And, that's a percentage that he is ineffective.
Yeah. It's kind of like Gibraltar. He's a super effective character, but he's the biggest hitbox in the game. He has the gun shield, which is protection. He has the dome, which is more protection. And he has the bombs, like the Beretta bombs that fall. So, like, if people are attacking him, he could throw the dome on him and then throw the bombs down. And when people come in, like, trying to attack, they're going to die from these bombs or be severely injured.
Yep.
Not only that, but the dome shield also makes it so you can revive your teammates way faster, like twice as fast, and you can use shields and everything faster. So he's, like, a super effective character, but, man, that hitbox...
That hitbox, though.
It throws him way down. But like you said, like Wraith, which is probably the most used character ever, is super effective.
Smallest hitbox,
hitbox. Can go invisible and like disappear for a little bit. Just even her portal works really well. So like, she's probably the most. And then I think Bloodhound is actually way more effective than people give him credit for because he's not a hunt hitbox. He's like somewhere in the middle, but he also has like the scanning ability. But the biggest one is his Hunt of the Wild ability, where he can run like faster than anybody in the game. He has infrared vision, so he can see anybody. It's a super ability basically, and he's super underutilized, but. I probably get him like in like maybe every 1 in 3 teams, maybe Bloodhound. I'm surprised people don't use him more, but I don't use him more either. So like, I guess it makes sense.
Well, I think it's just the success of the characters they've built. There's then there's only three people in a team, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to have your top 5, top 4, or top 3 even, right? Your top 3, Bloodhound's really good, but he's not going to be in your top 3. And I think that's just the problem with everyone else. They also have their top 3. Yeah. Even though Bloodhound is good, he doesn't make it to the top 3 just because those other guys are already in there. When you only have that, like I said, maybe all the guys you picked and all the guys in your top 3 were picked, so you went to Bloodhound.
Yeah. I think my top 3 right now, Watson, obviously.
Yep.
Caustic and Mirage.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's hard to play against those guys.
Yeah.
And girl. Oh, it's cool, man. Apex just seems to be evolving right along. I like that. I kind of think that game style could be interesting for quickness. Rather than the beginning, you see a lot of pitter-patting and people dicking around in the beginning. I think you would see a lot more deaths right off the bat, with everyone dropping right off the bat, fighting for guns.
Yeah.
Everyone already has a gun.
I think it would be better if you could pick your loadout and everything is gold.
Yeah.
So like if you want like a I don't know, R99 or flatline or whatever you want, you just pick that and it's gold going into the thing, gold shield, everybody gets gold everything, and you just go at it that way. Then there's absolutely no scavenging. It's just a game of like and if you want to switch weapons later on, you got to pick up somebody else's that you killed.
Good. Why not have it as a gameplay idea? Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't even have to make it a permanent thing, but have it as a gameplay thing. I think that's a really good call, man. I bet you that'd be very popular.
Let's call it decked out or something.
Yeah. Call of Apex.
Everybody gets their favorite weapons from the get-go. So then there's no, I didn't have this gun that I really wanted, or I didn't have this or that. Everybody has exactly the loadout they want. No excuses. Best team wins.
Apex Warfare.
Apex Warfare. Coming at you soon from Actiblizzard.
Actiblizz. Moving right along here, Kelly. Let's talk some UFC. UFC 258. Usman versus Burns. The card I thought was really slow, man. I thought like, oh man, decision after decision after decision. Even the few later finishes came later in the rounds. You know what I mean? Like the one finish in the main card came, with less than a minute left in the whole fight, and the other one was in the second round.
I was gonna watch the early prelims till the only Canadian Savage got, because I guess her was it her that's sick? Or
she was sick. Yeah, she got sick. Yeah.
What is it? COVID?
No, it's not COVID. She just had a stomach bug, is what they're thinking here. She was puking.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she was puking real bad. And,
that sucks.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch the early prelims at all. Or the prelims.
Yeah, tons of fights were canceled on this one, man. Tons of fights were canceled on this one. Only 10 fights going to, and I think it had 14. That's a good chunk of fights. But like I said, it wasn't very good. Maybe it's, I couldn't imagine how, we've had a dry bit of cold stretch, dry cold and wet cold, man. We had one hell of a dry cold. I can't imagine how dry it is in the desert right now, and I think it was really affecting these fighters. A lot of the decisions weren't terrible, but man, oh man, when you have all those decisions one after another, it just kind of drags on you. We see the opening was actually a decent fight. Chris Gutierrez showing off a crazy kicking clinic against Andre Ewell. Just leg kicks, body kicks, head kicks, left, throwing leg kicks with his left and his right, just throwing power, just kicking the shit out of Ewell's legs all fight. It was crazy. When he was running away, he was kicking him in the back of the legs. It was a leg beatdown, and Ewell just had his legs were fucked. His legs were super fucked, even in the third round being a 10-8 round. Big win for Gutierrez, and going to be, trouble for anybody at 135. A big 135 pounder is this dude here. Let's see how tall he is. Yeah, 5'8" for 135. That's pretty big. And I thought Ewell was a tall dude too. Terrible night for my picks, though. I can tell you that much, Kelly. I did terrible on my picks again. I did absolutely atrocious. Do not pick anybody I bet on.
I thought Burns was gonna win.
Me too, man. Paulina Vieira getting a nice super nice armbar over Mallory Martin. Beautiful armbar finish, going from the triangle transition. Mallory Martin didn't really know what to do once that triangle was locked in there. And then, slamming Vieira into the canvas with that triangle locked in, only making it go deeper. And from there, she locks in the really nice armbar. Belal Muhammad getting a, like I said, it was a solid three rounds of winning. Just, just wasn't super good. He beat the shit out of Diego Lima, that's for sure. Good win for him. The huge upset of the night. Anthony Hernandez beating Rodolfo Vieira. It just goes to show, man, it does not matter. That's the reason why you fight. It is for reasons like this. Handing Rodolfo Vieira his first loss in MMA. They have the nickname as the Black Belt Hunter. This guy is an Abu Dhabi champion. He doesn't just compete in Abu Dhabi. He's a champion in Abu Dhabi. And to be, he's like a multiple red stripe black belt too. And to be tapped out, obviously he got the shit kicked out of him and gassed out. He got the absolute shit kicked out of him. Did you watch this fight, Kelly?
No.
He got lit up. He got lit up bad with knees and punches, and he was totally on baby legs. And then, the second round comes up, and the cobwebs have not been cleaned and are cleared out, and he is just, he just gets basically, goes for a takedown and gets falls right into a guillotine, and he's gassed, he's hurt, and he taps out. But I think it'll be a learning experience for him. That's for damn sure. You just, obviously, everyone's telling you you're the best. No one's going to beat you in the world. You're undefeated, and you come up against a very game dude, Anthony Hernandez. And Anthony Hernandez was basically being fed to the wolves. Got knocked out by Kevin Holland before that one. Beats Jung Young Park. Loses to Marcus Perez the one before that. By a chokeout as well. And, So they basically were feeding this guy to the wolves, and that's what happens in the UFC. Made card coming around here was all like I said, all these decisions were good, but it just was too much. Julian Marquez getting the last second anaconda choke against Maki Pitolo. That was a good fight. They really went toe to toe. Did you watch this one, Kelly?
No.
Yeah, they went toe to toe. They brawled the whole fight back and forth. It was definitely fight of the night for sure. Pitolo had some good submissions and had full mount a few times, and Julian Marquez was really landing some heavy lever, but he had taken a beating so early. But to get the anaconda choke in the end, right in the end of the third round, was really, really nice. Obviously, Pitolo was just exhausted.
I just watched the last 3 fights. Basically. I wasn't interested in a lot of them. I don't know why. I just didn't care.
I think Marquez. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Once Jillian Robertson, there was another fight I was looking forward to that was canceled. It kind of took the wind out of the sails a little bit.
Yeah.
Ricky Simone. I've been pronouncing it Simon all these years. Is Ricky Simone getting a win over Brian Kelleher? It was kind of disappointing because Ricky Simone was really going for a lot of takedowns, and that's where Brian Kelleher he has got that nasty guillotine, which he's won by many times, and especially he utilizes the best when somebody does go for the takedown, and he didn't do it. He got busted up right off the bat, though. I think that's what he got, an elbow right to the fucking eyeball that split his head open too. That elbow was clean, but man, that got right into his eye, and he was wincing with pain after that. And I think he was hurt the whole match. I think that it was a super deep cut right over his eyebrow beside the nose, Kelly, and it was just I don't think he ever recovered from it very well. He still was game, but Ricky Simone with a really strong wrestling game, and he grounds out the decision. A good win and a good fight for Kevin Gastelum, back in the win column with a huge win over Ian Heinisch. Ian Heinisch was just exhausted. Yeah. That's why I was wondering if there was something about in the air in Las Vegas, because man, oh man, that first round, he was exhausted. But Kevin Gastelum took him to a wrestling clinic. And the one thing you can't forget is Ian Heinisch was also a state champion wrestler too. He's no slouch at wrestling, but Kevin Gastelum's wrestling was definitely on the showcase tonight. And he really showed that he's a great wrestler all 3 rounds, easily to Kevin Gastelum with a very dominant and safe performance. The dude needed the win, and he was up against a very tough dude in Ian Heinisch. I've talked about Ian Heinisch many times on the show, and he's game as they come. But he just got grounded out. Kevin Gastelum took him to deep water, and Ian Heinisch was just constantly struggling to keep his head above water.
Gastelum looked in better shape than he usually does.
He really did too. Yep, good call, Kelly. He really did. He looked in really, really good shape. I think mentally, it seemed like he was more mentally focused. Like he had that laser focused stare, I think is what I noticed in him in that. But absolutely, he looked great. Cardio. He easily could have looked like he could have gone 2 more rounds. And that was one of the only other fights I picked to win. And we see Alexa Grasso showing where she belongs, and unfortunately showing Macy Barber where she belongs. And that's not in the top of their division. A huge win for Alexa Grasso and a huge loss for Macy Barber.
Macy's only like 21 though, right?
Yeah, that's true. Very young.
She's super young. And to be at this level in the UFC, I think she has like so much potential. So, who knows? Yep. Who knows what her future is really?
Absolutely, I think this is gonna be the mental challenge for her. Now it's 2 losses, even though the other one was a knee injury. It's a loss is a loss, but still, it was unfortunate, that knee injury.
I think she may have even won that last round. Like she was.
Oh yeah, she was still coming back strong. I agree. Yeah, she in this fight she never looked out. Like she had a few moments where she was getting beat up, but she had a few of her good moments as well. She looked a little different this time. Yeah, and how much did that knee injury affect her? And is she still kind of technically recovering from it, Kelly?
Yeah. I don't know if Macy Barber was stock, I'd say buy. Because it's
right now. Wow. Yeah, that's true, man. Exactly. 2 losses in a row, but you know what I mean?
At 21.
Maybe they bring her down to the just outside the top 10 and give her some more competition to get her confidence back up. She's rattled off 3 more wins and she's right back in the top 5. Easily, if not even higher than that. But Alexa Grasso, that's a huge win for her. Only losing to Carla Esparza, Tatiana Suarez, who's been out forever, and Felice Herring she actually has a loss over.
Yeah, that's
I know. Not a crazy bunch of wins. She has a win over Ronda Marcos, and it's only a split, too. It's only a split against Ronda Marcos. Carolina Kowalczyk, she has a win over, decision. Ji Yun Kim, she has a win over. And now Macy Barber. All decision wins. But this has definitely got to be another huge one for her. One more win, and she's going to get a title shot, but she would get destroyed by the champ. That's no question there. That brings us to the main event of the evening. Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman versus Gilbert, Dorino Burns.
Be honest, when Burns smoked Usman in the first round and Usman was all wobbly, you got excited, didn't you?
Definitely got excited. I bet on Burns. I bet on Burns. And
I was like, oh,
he
shit,
clocked
it might
him.
be an upset.
And he's such a nice guy. You know what I mean? It's impossible to bet against Gilbert Burns. He's so nice. He showed that in the post fight press conference and in the post fight antics afterwards. Just how nice of a dude he really is.
Yeah.
Letting it all out there. But man, what a first round for him. And you know, I mean, one thing too, Kelly, and I think he talks about being overzealous with that slip. That slip really kind of slowed down his attack, obviously because he was on his back. And Usman was like, "Yeah, I'll stand here and kick you in the thighs because I'm gonna recover my composure." And it was I think that was a real huge momentum shift. Obviously in the first round, and I even texted you too. We both said Gilbert Burns round because we were both wanting him to win, but Usman was already landing that jab. He landed a few, and that's why I even texted you about, like, how did the refs count that jab? Because about 4 of them landed nice and clean, even in the first round. Even though that Usman was wobbled there, you obviously have to give the round. In my opinion, obviously you give the round to Burns because he almost had a knockdown there.
That's what I think.
And
like,
flurried
who's
him.
In danger? Who got most damage, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly. But did those kicks on the ground? Like I said, it's all a moot point because the fight didn't go to a decision, and the fight ended in the next 2 rounds. Obviously, the second round opens up with a real nice, a tit for tat almost punch where Usman's firing that shotgun of a jab in the early on, and then he clips him behind the ear. He clips Burns behind the ear, kind of gets dummied a little bit, and once again he gets baby legged. He has no power behind what he's doing now. And it's a whole nother ball game. Second round goes to Usman with that clubbing, and we got a fight on our hands. And it was a great show. And both guys have been tagged, but that jab from Usman, that jab though, man, oh man, lands a super. Like I said, man, it's a fucking shotgun blast of a jab, plowing.
That's funny.
What's that?
So in the first round, he didn't touch fists or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the second round, before the second round, after he got tagged really hard and got wobbled, he smiled. At the end of the round, he smiled and bought fists. He was like, "Now we're friends because you got me good, and you probably won that round." And then the second round, after he was dominant, all of a sudden he was mean mugging again.
Yeah.
And then he wins.
He's weird of emotions. That's Kamaru Usman to a T. One minute he wants to be the nice guy, and the next minute he wants to be the bad guy. He hasn't picked out what wrestling character he is yet. He's like the Big Show. He's just flipping from a bad guy to a good guy all the time. But I hear what you're saying though. It was a bit odd. I think he kind of explained it a little bit afterwards. I think was he kind of wanted that, to have that rivalry, because they were buddies, and I think that's what we saw obviously with Gilbert Burns just breaking down crying afterwards.
Yeah.
Because he lost the biggest opportunity of his life, and he was fighting a friend. Where these dudes didn't have any animosity towards each other. They had a little bit of trash talk leading up to this, just to keep it competitive, but they both have tons and tons of respect for each other. And I think that's kind of what we saw was Usman was just trying to be angry at Gilbert Burns, even though it's super hard to do that. And I think that's the reason why he didn't bump fists. I think he was trying to create some kind of animosity as to go, what you're saying, he was happy and then mad and happy and then mad.
Yeah.
And he gets the knockdown, swarms him, gets the finish, and the referee has I like Herb Dean. He came close there once or twice, I believe. He came close to stopping it, giving Gilbert Burns the benefit of the doubt. Because he kind of was still in there. It was definitely not an early stoppage, and good stoppage for Herb Dean, and a huge win for Kamaru Usman. Getting the 13th win in a row, surpassing GSP with the most wins in a row, like we talked about, with that, that Matt Serra loss, really affecting George St. Pierre's, his streak records. The guy's got record after record after record, but that one little smudge on that record is that little tie up there of losing to Matt Serra.
I wonder what the title defense streak is.
I think, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, it's definitely,
Usman's been fighting for the title for that long. Maybe 4 or 5 title fights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's nowhere near on that. Yeah, it's nowhere near on that. That's for sure.
Or does Aldo have the record for title fight?
I think no, I'm pretty sure it's Jon Jones.
Really?
Yeah, Jon Jones has the most title defenses.
Huh.
Crazy. So Tyron Woodley, who did he beat? He beat Tyron Woodley for it. Yeah, that's only his 5th title offense.
Yeah, so he's got a while to go.
Yeah, exactly. I think he would probably, he just I don't know, is it reach? What is up with his jab though? But I think I think we probably would see him retire. I think before I think he's going to be smart with his money too, and I think he would retire before making it to. I think it's got to be at least 8. George St. Pierre's got to be at least 8 here. Let's take a look here. But he's building to his legacy, and it's hard to argue with that legacy right now. I think that Usman's stock is high as shit. It's higher than a drum circle at Spanish banks in the summertime. That's how high Usman's stock is right now. With that finish, I think it's always been Usman's knock is that he can't finish dudes, and here he has a huge finish.
So GSP has 9 title defenses.
Wow!
But with that one blemish. He basically had the title from 2006 to 2007, and then he didn't get it again until 2008, and then he held it till 2013 for the welterweight, it looks like. And then he went on to beat Michael Bisping. So it looks like, he has the most title defenses in a welterweight with 9. So Usman has a few to go.
Yeah.
And he might get caught too, just like GSP did. So
well, welterweight's tough.
He almost got caught by Burns.
Yep, exactly. Welterweight's tough right now. Do we see Khamzat come back? I think he's obviously a guy who's very lucky that Khamzat Chimaev is out right now because he was definitely coming for him. Leon Edwards is definitely going to be coming asking for a title shot after a win as well. And he's sitting atop very pretty right now though. Jorge Masvidal, that's obviously the big rumor right now too. Calling out Jorge Masvidal afterwards as well. Saying that I'll give you a whole camp and let's fight. Yeah. I think it's a very smart call out by Usman to kind of just put all the naysayers to bed and come out hungry. He's going to be hungry for that fight because everyone said he didn't come out strong during that fight.
And these title fights put a lot of mileage on your body. Like
Big
you gotta
time.
think Tyron Woodley, people are thinking that he was indestructible for a long time, and then all of a sudden he just started losing.
Yeah, exactly. Because he had 2 huge long wars against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah, so these it takes a toll, and you can't be a champion forever. So we'll see if he can hold on to it as long as our Canadian boy GSP.
Exactly. Exactly. But it is rumored, Kelly, here's the big rumor mill on this one, that Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman will be the next coaches of the Ultimate Fighter.
Well, then at least he'll have the belt for what is that, 5 now?
Yeah.
I don't think Masvidal can beat him. He's a great fighter. I'd rather watch him fight somebody else.
Me too. Yeah, me too. That's the thing about Usman. He's such a good wrestler. We saw that Gilbert Burns got stuffed handily both times. He's such a good wrestler. He's got such good wrestling defense, and it's impossible to get past that jab. Yeah. You cannot let that jab hit you in the face 3-4 times around. Because we see it's been the same script every time. You cannot let those jabs add up, because then next thing you know, you let one through, and then boom, you've now been hit with 3 more, and now there's something wrong with your face. Either your nose is busted, your jaw is busted, or you're bleeding from somewhere.
This will be Usman's guaranteed win, just kind of like when GSP fought BJ Penn.
Whoa, a little bit, because they're both like the street guys, you know what I mean? Like they got the swagger, like GSP, like BJ Penn and Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
I think he's going for the money. I think Usman's going for the money, and I think the dude who he sees as a dancing partner that's going to get him the most dough right now would be Jorge Masvidal. And I think if you lead up with the Ultimate Fighter show, it's a slam dunk, and I welcome it. I'm the same boat. I love Jorge Masvidal. He's one of my most favorite fighters of all time, and I like the matchup for him as well to get paid really, and to maybe we see him win. If there's anyone who's got a puncher's chance, I think it could be Jorge Masvidal against him.
Didn't he already lose to him though?
Yeah, no, he lost to him. He lost to him. But that was on 6 days' notice.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what he's tired of everyone saying, though. That's what he's tired of everyone saying. One thing I thought was actually interesting, it was almost like a breakdown in the commentary. We see the return of Joe Rogan to the commentating. And it was almost like a breakdown where they were kind of going off script, and Jon Anik tried to bring it back together, but he asked a personal question of Daniel Cormier. And I thought it was a very interesting, it was kind of just stuck in my head as an interesting note. And he asked him, who was the first fighter you fought that when you realized this was the big league? And he said Josh Barnett. And I thought that was a very interesting, and he just destroyed Josh Barnett. And it was an interesting note for him to have that feeling, because I had that same feeling as well. Once Cormier ragdolled Josh Barnett, I knew he was the real deal. And I thought, fuck, this guy's unbeatable. This guy's going to be unbeatable and one of the best heavyweights of all time, because he just ragdolled the shit out of Josh Barnett. And that was kind of cool, like a real personal bit of information for Daniel Cormier to really say that, that's when he really got the big legs jitters, was fighting Josh Barnett. I thought that was a real cool personal side of him. And then Joe Rogan has to come in and tries to steer the conversation away from it. I thought it was a very interesting little because with the commentating team, they don't really get into that personal stuff that much. It's more about calling the play, calling the fighters, talking about the fighters, and or having your personal interview with that fighter during the week. I asked a guy this question, this is what he said about that type shit. Not, hey, how did you feel? Not like what kind of was that moment? What was that moment for you? It was how you felt about that moment. I thought it was a really interesting piece of information. Good on Jon Anik for asking that question. Whew, what a show. Always happens when I always don't have a lot to talk about, and it always ends up being the longest show every time. I've said this every single time. I just want to give a special shout out to everyone out there listening. Tune in every week. The Spotify peeps, keep them coming. The numbers keep going up from all our Spotify lovers, and we love you guys too. Hit us up on Twitter @AndNewPodcast, the Stephen and Kelly and New Podcast, getting it done week to week, whether it be rain, sleet, or snow. We're going to do a show for y'all. And love doing it every week. Episode number 111 in the books. Let's wrap her up here, Kelly. For producer and co-host extraordinaire, my man Kelly, you've been listening to the